Hey kids, just want to do a quick video on the markets, and I want to talk about Vechain today. Vechain is a project that basically focuses on supply chain. Basically, it's kind of like a ledger that keeps track of. They use it for quality control. Big in China, where they have counterfeit wines, so you kind of have that. They put a stamp on the wine, you can kind of scan it with a barcode, and the Vechain blockchain will tell you if it's authentic or fraud. Vechain's been around for years at this point. I remember hearing about Vechain in 2017. I think that's pretty much around when Vechain came about. It survived the bear market of 2018 into 2020, came back into 2021 into that bull market, and had a high at that point of 26 cents. Many people got Vechain, including me, at under a penny. Unfortunately, I didn't hold all my Vechain. I sold a lot of my Vechain at 5 and 6 cents. I actually put it into Cardano, which actually ended up working fine. But you know, I'm always looking at what coin should I be getting into now? We're in a bear market, and I always say, what coins have fundamentals behind them? But beyond the fundamentals, have they already survived bear markets? Are they tried and true? Or are they coins that just popped up like Solana last year and they haven't survived bear markets and they're new and there's so many unknowns? Well, we know with Vechain they've been around, they've survived bear markets, it's a legitimate company. The CEO is highly qualified, it's a profitable company, and they have a ton, an absolute ton of partnerships. Here's a list of all their partnerships right here. Like I said, it's a Chinese-based company. A lot of partnerships are Chinese-based, but they just have a ton. I just read about it an Amazon kind of collaboration where they're using the technology, which I'll pull up in a second. They also have a UFC partnership, which is good because it at least spreads the word. I guess my point is, Vechain might be a diamond in a rough right now. It's under the radar. Nobody's really talking about it. It actually even slipped under my radar. I do hold some Vechain right now. I actually bought a few $1,000s worth at 2 cents or just over 2 cents. Now Vechain's pushing 3 cents. I think it's hit a bottom, folks. I've been watching Vechain for the last couple months just hover around 2 cents. Even when Bitcoin dropped down to $17,000, Vechain just did not want to go under 2 cents. It was just hanging out in that 2 cent range. And for me, I love when a coin has basically hit a bottom because it's just so obvious that it's not going to go too much lower than 2 cents. Now, anything could happen. Of course it could. But I think that's the bottom for Vechain. I think the bottom was 2 cents. I think, you know, it could easily surpass 26 cents in the next bull market in 2024, maybe even hit 50 cents. So for me, I am looking to buy some Vechain. So here's the partnership right now I found with Amazon. Basically, Amazon has signed a partnership geared towards blockchain-based carbon management services. The deal exists between vCarbon and Amazon Web Services, the company's cloud computing division. Amazon will provide technology to scale up operations to a national and continent level per details of the agreement. And this could help the blockchain developer comply with carbon emissions targets set by China in 2020. I think this was announced a couple of days ago, and I think this is why Vechain pretty much pumped up from like 220 or something like that, almost up to 3 cents. And I think my point is that Vechain is basically every year it just keeps growing and growing, and they're getting new partnerships. Vechain traditionally performs very well in a bull market, but in a bear market it dumps absolutely horrendously, which you've seen. I actually remember telling my father-in-law when Vechain was 20 cents, we were both holding a little bit of it. I had sold most of mine, and he kept asking me about Vechain. I'm just like, just remember, it will probably dump back down to 2 cents. And it did. And that was pretty much the last time I really even been thinking about Vechain. Like, I've seen it. I bought some a couple weeks ago, but it hasn't been on the top of my list of coins to buy, and I just don't know why it hasn't. Sometimes we all get caught up in that shiny object, and I was actually thinking to myself, well, I actually just bought some Cardano today. I just bought some Cardano. I think Cardano is a great deal at 50 cents, and it hasn't pumped yet. And I was actually thinking of sending some money over to KuCoin and buying some more metaverse coins, but I'm like, you know what? they're risky. I already have some of them. Vechain is pretty much tried and true. It's been around. I think I'm just going to buy some Vechain. So that's what I'm doing, folks. I'm actually looking for a little bit of a pullback, so I haven't bought any yet. But I did buy some at about 2 cents a couple weeks ago. But I think what we're going to see for Vechain is most likely hovering around 2 to 4 cents for the next 6 months. And maybe we'll get like a pump up to 5 or 6 cents, like some crazy pump, like a Bitcoin pumps up to like $30,000 or $40,000, and then I think we're going to see Vechain basically hover around that 2 cent range. We'll probably dump back down to 2 cents. So I think you will have plenty of time to buy it. And then I think going into that bull market within the next year and a half, 2 years, we're going to easily surpass 26 cents. And I have a projection of about 40 to 50 cents for Vechain for the next bull market in 2022. So the ROI potential for Vechain is probably one of the highest, even higher than Cardano. Because with Cardano, I'm thinking, maybe we'll get like a 15, 20, maybe even 25x. But if Vechain goes to 50 cents, I mean, you're looking at between 30 and 50x for Vechain. Some people think Vechain might go up to $1. That is possible. It really depends what Bitcoin does. I don't think so. I would probably sell most of my Vechain at, I'd probably sell some at 30 cents, and I'd probably sell the rest at, or at least most of the rest at like 45 cents. Maybe just keep a little bit after that and just see where it goes, but it'll probably dump hard after that. Just like when Vechain hit 26 cents and pretty much dumped hard back down to 10 cents. And it was hovering around 10 cents for a while, and now, back down to 2 cents. So keep an eye on Vechain, keep it on your radar. Like I said, it's tried and true. It's been around for 5 or 6 years. It survived the last bear market. Legitimate company, legitimate CEO. The only negative downside is it's based out of China, but the Chinese government does support Vechain, which is good. So I don't see Vechain going anywhere. I think it's going to be around. Usually in the bear market, it drops in dominance, but I could see it becoming a top 10 coin in the next bull market. It's just one of those coins that's going to be around, and a lot of people don't talk about it because there's not a lot of hype behind it. The CEO doesn't do a lot of Q&As. There's not a lot of, even when they do a partnership, there's not a lot released on it. So it kind of flies under the radar. And right now in these bear markets, you should be finding coins that haven't pumped yet and are keeping under the radar. And that's what I think about Vechain. So yeah, folks, look for some buy levels on Vechain. I think anything under 3 cents is a great time to buy Vechain. And even if you're trading it, you could buy some right now, maybe sell at 5 or 6 cents. But for me, I'm not going to be really trading any. I'm just looking to buy cheap Vechain in the 2 cent range, and I'm going to be dumping out in 2 years with a target of 30 cents to 50 cents.